What's up? This is The Violent Casket, home to The Lamest Taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at one word, The Violent Casket, where you subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more. Guys, I'm super excited about this because this is I didn't even realize this was coming out when it came out. I thought it was coming out much later. This is my review for the Netflix original series, That 90s Show Part 3. So if you watch my review on Part 2, you know that the way that ended, I was super excited. Being that, I didn't even play on the shirt. Being that at the end of season 2 ends with Leo talking about how Leo, character from That 70s Show, legendary member of Cheech and Chong and all those movies, says that he's retiring and he's giving his business to his son. And then, boom, car crashes through the kitchen, and who's there? None other than Jay and Silent Bob. Not really, but Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes playing new characters that are Leo's son as well as Leo's son's best friend. So these two nincompoops, show up and now are reoccurring characters in season 3. That blew my, so that's how season 2 ended. Season 2, part 2 of That 90s Show ended. Solid, fun, whatever. I gave it a 4.7 out of 5. Great review, right? So then season 3, part 3, keep saying season, comes out. I thought that was coming out in December. It came out, it is currently August. Came out of nowhere, right? Super excited. I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna have to wait for this. So I get on and I watch it. 8 episodes, fantastic. Best part yet. I thought part 2 was better than part 1 because I thought that they all felt young and unseasoned in part 1, but it was good. And season 2, you could see that part 2, they really picked up on everyone around them. There was more cameos, more people rubbing what the show should be onto them and them taking that on. Part 3, fantastic. The whole storyline of I don't even want to spoil it for you, but like there's multiple romance storylines, like there's full circle moments there. One spoiler is that it ends up with the end of this being that I'm curious how this is really going to end because because it ends on a huge cliffhanger, right? And right before that was announced that Leia was going to high school there full time, moving there with her grandparents full time because her father, Eric Foreman, had gotten a job following George Lucas around on Skywalker Ranch as they started filming and writing, I'm assuming the prequel series, so Phantom Menace. And her mom was like torn what they were going to do and whatever, and they were giving her a chance. And then the last day of summer, they sneak out and they break in and go on the roof of the high school and they're smoking pot. And that's when her grandparents and her mom find her. And that's kind of how it ends. So we don't know what's going to happen. I can't wait for part 4, but clearly the part 2 and 3 were filmed together continuously in a cluster. But I don't know if part 4 was filmed in that cluster, or if they're going to do part 4, 5, and 6 in a cluster. I don't know what the release schedule seems like. I thought we had more time before part 3, and we bombarded. Part 2 was so good. Originally, part 1 I thought was great. I thought the show got canceled. Then we get trailers that part 2 and 3 are coming. Okay, cool. Part 2 was really cool. Part 3 blindsided me. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes are reoccurring characters. Seth Green is a reoccurring character. The way they used him in this part was way better than the first part. First part was cool, it was one time, whatever. Multiple episodes, I feel like he's there. Oh, at least one. He plays a major role, and it was really good. Her uncle Bob, very well used in this part. I just really enjoyed it. I really, truly enjoyed it. And that's why I'm going to give this part 3 a 4.9 out of 5. I think that still there's room for this show to grow. I think that the acting cast here, the younger cast, still has plenty of room to breathe and grow into these characters. But I just think there was multiple times where I was hysterically laughing. And that I wasn't in the other 2 parts. And I think that this part just, besides blindsiding me, just was really good. The references were good. The soundtrack was good. The moments, the storylines, everything felt it felt good. It felt real. It felt very well done. 4.9 is what I'm giving part 3 of that 90s show. I hope we get parts 56. I hope this keeps going. 8 episodes, parts instead of seasons, and I don't know, because part 1 came out a while ago, I feel like, and then parts 2 and 3 were just out of nowhere. So if I look at this correctly, as I try to, there's 26 episodes currently. There was the first season, whatever you want to call it, right, was 10 episodes. And it came out at the beginning, January of 2023, right? Part 2 came out June 2024. So over a year later, well over a year later, you get an 8-episode part 2. And then, so that was June. 2 months later, you get another 8 episodes. So you got 16 episodes in 1 year, over a year and a half after the first 10 episodes. So the shooting schedule doesn't really make sense to me. The way they're releasing this show is very weird. How you would put out a show, 10 episodes, wait a year and a half, put out 8, wait another month and a half, put out another 8, and then end on a cliffhanger. So now you have 26 episodes, and you're like, what do I go from here? I don't know. That was my review. I think film-wise, it is filmed beautifully. Transitions are great. Music choices are great. All the acting across the board in part 3 is phenomenal. Cameos are great. References are great. The nostalgia factor is there, where they're tying between that 70s show and the 90s itself. I think Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes being the perfect 90s equivalent to the Cheech and Chong references is great. The movie scene, I think everything was well done, well fed, well written, well performed. I think this is a really solid show. And I feel like it started off as, okay, and has gotten to the point where it's just really, really solid. And I want more, and I hope we get more. And the 4.9 speaks for itself. That being said, guys, this is the Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more. Do me a massive favor and stay lame.